Hi there everyone, Rob here with today's Western Pacific weather update. It is now the 22nd of June 2012 here, and we are watching the remnants of Talim move across much of Japan today. It did bring some very heavy rainfall down towards Kyushu earlier on today. Upwards about 200 to 300 millimeters was recorded in some areas, and actually I did see some reports out of Kyushu. I'll show you here on the precipitation per hour. Some areas are seeing over 50 millimeters of rainfall, especially here in Shikoku. Down towards Kyushu, you did see upwards of about 40 to 50 millimeters per hour, right around about 6 p.m. in the afternoon here. But as town continues to move here towards the northeast, it is dropping yet more rainfall on these already saturated grounds. If you remember, about 2 days ago I made an update showing this exact area, and you were seeing about 50 millimeters an hour due to gucho that blew through here. Thus, there has been widespread reports of flooding and landslides. A lot of these rivers are starting to surge up here across much of Japan. And actually, if we look at the trim satellite image here, over the past week, you're going to be really kind of surprised by this here, or actually if you've been following these updates quite regularly or are living here in southwestern Japan, you're not going to be so surprised. This is nearly 1,000 millimeters in the past week across the southwestern Japanese islands, even down there towards Taiwan. You have that 1-2 punch. You can actually see on here where a gucho formed up here just towards the southwest of Guam. It followed up here towards the north. All that precipitation fell when this was a super typhoon, then moved across Japan, dropping all that rainfall with it. And then Talim formed over here and followed track. Both of them following that rainy season stationary boundary when it reached area right in here, and that is why we are now seeing these widespread reports of flooding across most of Japan and even down there towards Taiwan. And that actually been continuing for several weeks now. And really, you can kind of see it on here with this imagery. It's due to the interaction of these two high pressures. That's what's really causing that rainy season stationary boundary. You have a high here, and what's between two highs? Well, a trough of low pressure. And thus, low pressure areas have been continuing to develop here on this low pressure, on this trough or this rainy season stationary boundary, and running off there towards the northeast. Plus, our true tropical systems combined with that have just been bringing yet more rainfall. And unfortunately, it does look like going into the next several days, yet another system going to be developing out of southeastern China. And we can actually see it here on the no gaps model. You have this going into the weekend, just more precipitation coming out of there. This entire area already being saturated. This is just going to drop yet more rainfall, up to about 100 to 200 millimeters could be falling as that low continues to track along here. They do look relatively weak, but the main concern is just the rainfall on top of already saturated ground. So definitely we'll continue to keep you posted on this Mayu/Bayou stationary boundary as it continues to affect southeastern China, Taiwan, up here towards the southern Japanese islands, Kyushu, Shikoku, and even off there towards Honshu. That's really kind of the general position of it right now, but you have to remember it is kind of quasi-stationary. It does shift here towards the north and also towards the south based on the strength of these high pressures surrounding it. But as we're looking at this model outlook, though, look down here towards the south. This is a possible development of another tropical system that could be affecting northeastern Luzon going into next week. Yet the no-gaps model is really the only model I really see picking up on this area too much. GFS kind of hints at it near the end of the run, but nothing significant coming out of this. Just at this time, I wouldn't really worry too much about this area in the tropics. Still, the main concern is going to be continuing the southwest monsoon here, because also still seeing this heavy rainfall here across the Indochina Peninsula and even there towards the Philippines. You have those afternoon thunderstorms assisted by the southwest monsoon, and plus that rainy season boundary here just towards the north. But let's actually look at the satellite image from Southeast Asia here, and plenty of rain showers to go around here. I actually saw some reports up here across Vietnam from the WMO earlier on. About 60 millimeters was recorded here, and even across northern Luzon, upwards of about 80 to 100 millimeters of rainfall in the past 24 hours has been recorded. So very wet weather to go all around. This is typical this time of year, so definitely just across the tropics, localized flooding, especially urban flooding, will continue to be a major mess here. Do remember actually earlier on this week in the Manila metropolitan area, there was widespread reports of flooding causing some accidents there, and actually Mr. Adonis here reported in on that, just stating about how there was widespread accidents as people started to hydroplane across some of these areas. So definitely you cannot discount these afternoon thunderstorms. Even though they are sometimes on a daily basis, they still can bring that risk of serious injury. And lastly, we haven't showed this in quite a while. It's the temperature forecast, and as you can see out here towards India, Still oppressive heat, 48 expected for your high on Friday. While we look off there towards the east, plenty of heat to go around here across the Indochina Peninsula. Tropics do remain relatively warm. Tokyo, though, only getting up to 23, but this is going to be accompanied by some muggy weather, so very, very humid as well as that rain showers start to push over the Tokyo metropolitan area going in through your Friday morning. Then in the evening hours, oh, good news, it's all going to be tapering off, so relatively dry conditions going into the weekend, so fantastic news on that, yet you're still going to be seeing some isolated rain showers for some localized people. But that is all for right now, everybody. Thanks again for watching here at westernpacificweather.com. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, as always, please post them in the comment box below. I also do want to remind you, you can follow me on Facebook and Twitter. I put out updates every day and basically several times a day, not just here in the Western Pacific, but across the world if you're watching elsewhere. And also follow us on westernpacificweather.com on our Facebook page. Also plenty of reports going on there as well. So thanks again for watching, everybody. Please stay safe out there. Oh, one last point. Do want to also remind you, we did just partner up with storm2k.org. Plenty of tropical weather discussion going on there, not just here in the Western Pacific, but worldwide as well. All right, have a great day. Stay safe out there.